Real with Ashleydawn. So, if you can hear that, it's not rain on a tin roof, it's rain on a car windshield. And it is raining. And and it's lightning too, that was real pretty. I want to talk to you about rain and why rain is necessary in our life. Now, you may be saying, Ashleydawn, really? You're so creative. You're talking about rain and there's raindrops on your window. I know. Anyway, so my life, I was talking to my friend the other day, and we were talking about the struggles that I've had in my life, and they were just saying that, you know, I'm aware of the ugliness in the world because I've lived through some of it. And it's been really hurtful and it's been really hard, but it's been necessary. And I was telling them, you know, like I was agreeing with them, rain is necessary. The hard times are necessary. And a lot of times we don't realize that our hard times are helping us to appreciate the good times. Like, could you imagine if it never rained and we just had sunshine, beautiful days all the time? We would just take advantage of it, and we would just be like, oh yeah, it's just another day. No, it's a beautiful sunny day. There's sunshine. It's a beautiful day. But because there's rain, and I do like rainy days too. Not all the time though. I like my sunshine. But if we never had rain, we wouldn't appreciate sunshine. And I will even go so far to say, if we never had rain, we wouldn't be able to appreciate the sunny days because the rain makes everything grow. And in the sunshine, we can see everything that's growing. Flowers, trees. The rain and the sunshine work together to grow the trees. And the good times and the bad times work together to grow us. I can look back at my life and I've had several relationships with ex-boyfriends that were not God's best for me. They were God's best for somebody else. But I got my heart broke and I got really, really hurt and I cried and I remember being cheated on and being lied to and being sad and thinking like, this is the worst feeling in the whole wide world. Why do I have to feel like this? And honestly, like, at the time, it wasn't so wonderful. But now I can look back and I can be so stinking thankful because the rain, as much as I appreciate the rainbow and as much as I appreciate the sunshine, the rain taught me what I didn't like, right? The rain right now is hard to hear me. I'm like having to yell. I'm not yelling, but I'm having to raise my voice. It's hard to see. I have to use my windshield wipers. You know, it's hard for other people to see. These are our headlights. And it shows us the difficulties of life, right? My ex-boyfriend showed me what I didn't want. I don't want somebody that's going to cheat on me. I don't want somebody that's going to lie to me. I don't want somebody that's going to be dishonest. But if I never knew what a lie, you know, getting my heart broke was like, if I never knew what being lied to was like, if I never knew what being cheated on was like, would I appreciate a good man as much as I will when he finds me? Probably not. I probably wouldn't. I probably would take him for granted because I'd be like, well, of course he's a good guy. Everybody's a good guy. Right? Yeah, I'm right. I know I'm right. But the thing is, we don't think about it like that. We think like, oh man, it's raining. Oh, I don't like driving in the rain. I don't like doing this in the rain. I don't like doing that in the rain. But if we could just get into our minds like, the rain is teaching us to be thankful for the sunshine. And I'm not saying, you know, to throw a party when somebody lies to you. But if somebody lies to you, just take it as God is showing you how to appreciate when somebody tells you the truth. When somebody cheats on you, yes, it's hard and it sucks, but just think, wow, God is showing you how much to appreciate when somebody doesn't cheat on you, when somebody is faithful. Okay, a friend betrays your trust. God is showing you how to appreciate a friend that doesn't betray your trust. Like, every single detail of our life is for our good and God's glory. So even the bad things, even the things that we don't want to happen, that do happen on a daily basis, things happen all the time, are for our good and for God's glory. So when those people did not nice things to me, I can look back and be like, you know what? God was teaching me a lesson. God was teaching me that I deserve more. And one day when I have that, one day when I do, when I am in a relationship with amazing, honest, loving man, I will appreciate him more than I would have if I didn't know that that was rare. Like, do you ever go to like a grocery store and sometimes there'll be one more thing on the shelf? Maybe it's a limited edition item. Maybe it's a Magnolia Chip and Joanna Gaines room air scent amber citrus, or I think it's amber citrus or amber orange, and it's limited edition and there's only one left. How much do you want that one that's left? Because you realize the value. You realize how rare it is. You realize that that is the only one there. It's the same thing. If you have, say you're a guy and you're watching this and you've had a lot of, not so good relationships with girls, guess what? You're going to appreciate a good one when she comes along, hopefully. And vice versa. If you're a girl, you've had a lot of not so wonderful guys, you're probably going to appreciate a wonderful guy when he does come along, because you know what it's like not to have one. Every single thing in our life is either teaching us what we don't want, if it's bad, or what we do want, if it's good. So when it rains, put your headlights on, put your windshield wipers on, and drive safely. When something bad happens in your life, start praying, trust God, allow Him to show you that it won't be like that forever. And then, when the rain clears, when your life isn't as crazy, when you're not maybe in a season that's hard and that's a struggle, maybe then you'll appreciate it more, or the people in your life more. Maybe you're working 3 jobs and you're struggling and you're grinding out and you're trying to pay your bills. When you pay those bills, you are going to be so appreciative of all that hard work. Even though it was hard, even though you had some bad days, even though you probably had some customers that weren't as wonderful as they could have been. Every single thing in our life can be a blessing or a burden. It all depends on the way that we look at it. How are you looking at it? Are you looking at it as it's a burden, or are you looking at it as it's a blessing? Are you looking at it as it is a hindrance to your life, or are you looking at it as it's a blessing to your life? I know there's a lot of things in my life that I've looked at and been like, oh man, I got to go through this again. Like, God, haven't we been here before? Why do I have to deal with this? Why do I have to go through this? And God's like, I'm teaching you a lesson. Sometimes the bad things that happen to us are really God teaching us a lesson that's going to bless us in the future. Every single relationship that I've ever been in, and I've been in probably, I think I've been in 6 relationships. They all have taught me some things that I don't like about myself, and then some things I don't like about others. And guess what? I've grown, and I've learned, and I've realized things that I don't want to do in the future. And I've, made the choice to change, and I've made the choice to be stronger, to be better, to be more loving, to be more kind, to be more compassionate. But every single thing, even the bad stuff, has been a lesson, has taught me something that I needed to learn, something that I needed to know. Everything is perspective. Are you going to look at it as a burden, or are you going to look at it as a blessing? Are you going to look at it as, oh, this is happening to me again? Like, why? Or you can look at it as, God, you're teaching me something in this season that maybe I don't know right now. Thank you, Lord, that you love me so much. Thank you, Lord, that you are so faithful. Thank you that you're teaching me. Thank you that I am getting to learn. Even if nothing else, you're learning what you don't like. You're learning how to appreciate what you do like. For instance, I love sunflowers. So right now, one of my favorite farms in the whole world, the sunflowers are dead. Guess what? When those sunflowers, because they normally plant them the end of summer and they bloom into the fall, when those flowers bloom, do you know how happy and how excited and how appreciative I'm going to be? Pretty dang excited and pretty appreciative, because I know what it's like not to have them. I know what it's like when they die. I know what it's like when I drive by there and I don't see big, beautiful, yellow, smiley flowers looking back at me. I know how to appreciate them. And when they're there, I will. So maybe, just maybe, the lack in your life is really God teaching you appreciation. Whether you don't have as much money as you would like right now, maybe God's teaching you how to appreciate money. And not that you should worship it, not that it should be, an idol to you, or that you should love it, because that is, the love of money is a root of all evil, but that you will appreciate it and you won't spend it so frivolously. I've learned that lesson, and I'm currently learning that lesson. I'm paying off medical debt from when I had kidney stones. Yay, me! And guess what? I'm realizing that paying off medical debt, first of all, I'm thankful and I'm grateful to be healthy. But I'm also realizing that money is spent so much faster than it's made, right? In one day, I spent $8,000. Yeah, like $8,000. One day. I do not make $8,000 in one day. It'd be nice if I did, but I definitely don't. So, with all that to say, money is easier spent than earned. So guess what? When I earn money, I'm learning to be more thrifty with it. And I thought I was thrifty before, but now I'm being extra thrifty. And say friendship. Say you have a season where you're in quarantine and you can't spend time with your friends. Well, you learn real fast how special it is to have friends. You learn real fast how thankful you should be for your friends. When they're not there, you appreciate them. So maybe, just maybe, this season of rain is teaching you to appreciate the sunshine. The season of living at home with your parents at 33 is teaching you the blessing of having your own place at whatever age. Maybe not having a child and wanting a child and longing for a child is teaching you the appreciation for one when you get one. When, whether you adopt, whether you conceive, whether you foster a child. The rain in our life is really teaching us appreciation. The bad things in our life are really teaching us to appreciate the good things. When I had my kidney stone and I was in the hospital, I really appreciated going and working out. I did, because I couldn't work out, for like 2 months. It hurt. It hurt to work out. I couldn't work out. So I appreciated working out. All those days where I'd be like, I don't really feel like it. Well, I appreciated it. Sometimes when something is taken away from you, you tend to appreciate it more. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be taken away from you. Sometimes when you are dealing with something that's difficult and you are like, why am I going through this? Why am I facing this? And then, they say hindsight's 20/20. And then you look back and you're like, wow, God was working it all out for my good and His glory. He was teaching me a lesson. I'm so grateful that I went through that, or I wouldn't know what I know now. For instance, When I first got this car a bunch of years ago, the headlights, I had always had older vehicles or trucks. I had never had a SUV. And so I thought, like my truck, I took my whole headlights out. In my Nova, I took my whole headlights out. And so with this, I was like, oh, you got to take the whole housing out. And so I unscrewed it, I undid it, I got the perfect wrench and got it, whatever. Well, then I realized, oh no, once I get it out, you just pop a bulb in there. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? I spent the entire day, not the entire day, but like 3 hours taking the headlight, like entire units off the front end of my car for nothing? Like, what? But I learned my lesson. So sometimes when you go through something, it's for you to learn. Something that you wouldn't have if you didn't go through it. I can talk about my life all day long and the places I've been, the things I've done, the experiences that I've lived through, and the lessons that I've learned during them. I've learned a lot of lessons that I never would have learned had I not went through those things. And I never would have imagined the lessons that I would learn going through those things. So maybe, just maybe, the rain in your life is really making your flowers grow. And it could be anything. It could be a job. It could be a relationship. It could be a house. Maybe you've never had your own house and you finally got one and things are going wrong. Well, you're probably learning how to fix things by yourself. And that's pretty awesome. I just thought of Home Improvement, Tim the Toolman Taylor. Yeah. So anyway, I love y'all. I'm getting ready to meet my friend for dinner. But I do want to tell y'all that you are special, you are seen, you are celebrated, and you are loved. In whatever season you are currently in, God has not forgotten you. God is not far away from you. God is right there. And He's using every single detail for your good and for His glory. And He's going to work it all out. And in no time at all, you're going to look back and you're going to thank Him for the bad stuff. You're going to thank Him for the rain. You're going to thank Him for the things you had to overcome. Because 1, He made you a better person. And 2, He gave you a level of appreciation that you never would have had you not gone through what you went through. So, you win. God is doing an amazing work. Oh, I missed my turn. Well, did I? No, I didn't. God is doing an amazing work. He's not done with you yet. That appreciation is going to come in handy. When you do have that dream fulfilled, whether it be a child, whether it be a husband or a wife if you're a guy, whether it be insert thing here, you are going to be so appreciative. You are going to be so stinking thankful that you're going to look back and say, God, I thank you. I thank you for what I went through, because at the time I didn't know how special it was. At the time I didn't realize what you were doing, but I realize it now. And God, I am so thankful for what you've done in my life, for what you're continuing to do in my life. And I just want to thank you. I just want to thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, that's horrible singing, but you get my point. God has a great plan and purpose for you. Is that my brakes? God has a great plan and purpose for you, and you don't even realize now what He's doing behind the scenes in the details of your life. But one day you will, and you're going to look back and you are going to thank Him for every detail, every single detail that you didn't realize at the time, at the moment. God has your best interests at heart all the time. You are his child, and he has good plans for you. He doesn't want you to be in that terrible relationship any more than you do. He doesn't. But maybe you're learning something in it that is going to help you in the future. Hi. I've had lots of terrible relationships. Yeah. And guess what? I'm a better person because of them. I've had lots of storms come and disrupt my life, and I'm a better person because of it. So maybe, just maybe, the storms, the bad things in your life, maybe, just maybe, they have a purpose. Maybe. Just maybe. Anyway, I love y'all. You're special. And I hope that this blessed you. I hope my videos have been blessing you. If you have any requests, please feel free to leave it in the comments. Yeah, I love y'all. God loves you more than I could ever love you. His love never ends, doesn't run out. It just keeps going and going and going. So I love y'all, and I will see you in another Getting Real with Ashleydawn. Love y'all. Bye.